Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with the FX Market Insight for Friday, the 24th of January. All right, now I'm just starting on the risk on, risk off page, just to sort of see if there's any sort of clear indication of any action. And I can tell you there's pretty much not. See how the Asian equity market's pretty flat. That seems to be the whole scare around this coronavirus seems to have just stalled at the moment, and you're seeing the yen crosses. I mean, they're not really bouncing, but they're not shooting to the downside either. So you can sort of pretty much discount that. And with that pressure off, gold is drifting back down towards 1550. All right, now let's just have a look at the main news that's going around at the moment. Actually, let me take you to the chart. It's probably easier to give you a bit of a look around what's happening there. But let's switch over to the FX Market Insight page. What we're looking for is, you can see here the Aussie, right? So we had those strong employment numbers. The overall trend is down. The economy is still struggling. So the Aussie sort of just drifted back lower. We had some stronger CPI numbers out of New Zealand today, which has just pushed it back up towards resistance. Even if it pops above that, I don't think it's going to last long. I think we'll see it lower. And dollar yen, this sort of safe haven trade, it isn't going at the moment, but it's sitting very precariously, and it could easily drop to 108 if there was an escalation of the spread, especially across Europe and North America, would really spark things up. Now, the ECB left everything unchanged. They've got to have an inquiry into what policy is and what they're going to do about it. To me, this is a clear sign that the ECB, there's no belief in their current policies. They don't even know how they're going to get inflation going. So I'll be looking to sell on rallies, that puppy. And sterling, well, you know what? There's this thing is just still cruising to the top side. We're supposed to be like 7 days out from the UK leaving the EU. So just keep an eye on the Brexit news, especially next week. And dollar CAD, after that initial spike up after the Bank of Canada meeting, those dovish comments, it's just trickling lower. But it looks like it's found a bit of a home around 131.20 at this stage. But overall, there's not a hell of a lot going on. Now, if I bring you back to the MyFX Trading Hub, we can have a look here and sort of piece together the technical side of things. The dollar index sort of throwing up a bit of a strong buy signal sort of there at the moment. It is breaking higher on the hourlies and dailies. So to me, that's a good and fair signal. Dollar yen, buy it. I wouldn't really think so. Like, it's starting to break down and has potential. If anything, it's sideways. That's a little bit confusing. So I'd probably leave dollar yen alone. Dollar index looks pretty good. Strong buy in dollar Swiss. Well, I don't know. Like, this is the funny thing, right? Dollar Swiss and the dollar index usually go hand in hand, but at the moment they haven't been doing that. So to me, overall long-term charts tell me the dollar Swiss is still sort of lingering on the downside. I'm not convinced yet to get in there and buy it. And dollar CAD, well, it's still up there and it's lofty levels above 131. So we'll see how that plays out. Euro, there should really be. I'm starting to get into a real sort of strong sort of selling situation there in euro. Sterling just dribbling to the top side, and you got the two antipodeans, Aussie and Kiwi, just dribbling lower, not with much momentum. And that's what we're dealing with at the moment. We don't really have that kick-on, flow-on effect with the fundamentals. And just having a look at where the major action is going to be over the next 24 hours as we close the week. You got some European data here. So the manufacturing numbers out of Germany and the Eurozone, keep an eye on those. With that sort of weak tone in the Euro, you might see that really kick lower if those numbers are weaker. You know, that's the sort of general thinking out there. Then you've got the flash manufacturing numbers out of the UK. Well, everything seems to be quite positive at the moment, despite some sort of mixed data. But keep an eye on that if you have sterling positions. And then to close it out, we've got Canadian retail sales figures. Now, these could go anywhere. The inflation numbers are a little bit weaker. If these numbers are weaker, it's going to give it another boost to the top side. And at the same time, if they correct, well, then we might see dollar CAD back under 131. And that's all we have for this week. All right, guys, that's pretty much a bit of a wrap. Not of a hell of a lot to get your teeth into, but If you're looking for action, it's got to be the euro, right? So it's just keep an eye on that. As I said, you've got the two key data releases. And if you're looking at all these charts, to me, the euro does have a clear sort of downward bias. And we've got some levels there to work with there as well, back up just around 110.70. To me, it's a sell on rally situation until some data tells me otherwise. All right, guys, have a good trade day. Cheerio.